Hello everyone, me Elizaveta Sokolenko and my co-author Svetlana Malyutina are presenting you our research, the effect of different types of semantic cues on word retrieval success in tip-of-the-tongue states. The tip-of-the-tongue state, or simply thought, is an experience when a person has a strong feeling that she or he knows a word, but at the moment it cannot be retrieved. There are several theories why thought states occur. But in our research, we focused on direct access theory, which divides into blocking theory and partial activation theory. Blocking theory suggests that words with similar sounds and meanings compete for activation, activation with target words, and changing retrieval conditions can help to resolve the thought state. And partial activation theory suggests that the retrieved word has more activation than its competitors. And due to incomplete activation of the target word, thought state occurs, and additional information about the target word can help to retrieve it. There are many studies that are focused on how different types of semantic cues can resolve thought state, but there are no research that focused on different types of semantic cues. So our research question is what a specific type of semantic cues is more effective for resolving the thought state. We are focused on semantic types of semantic cues, coheponyms, and associations. Our hypotheses we suggest that semantic cues would help rather than interfere with the retrieving target word in thought states. This hypothesis would confirm partial activation theory, and the next hypothesis is that coheponym cues would strongly compete with target word and interfere with its activation. So association cues should be more effective in resolving thought states, and this hypothesis would confirm blocking theory. Our stimuli was 102 target words. There were low frequency Russian words, 49 abstract and 53 concrete. About half of them we collected from research Kleiman and Monina, and the rest of them we collected by ourselves. For each word, we had a definition. One coheponym cue, which we collected from RuScale section related words, and one association cue, which we collected by ourselves with the help of different websites, and then we checked them on semantic distance with target words on Rus vectors. Here you can see some examples of our stimuli. Our participants were 19 young adults in age 18-40 years old. We had to conduct our experiment online because of pandemic, and it was programmed on PsychoPy and presented on online experiment platform Pavlovia. In our experiment, we firstly showed our participants a definition of the target word. He or she should name it. And if he couldn't retrieve it, we asked if he or she experienced thought state. If he or she asked either no or yes, we showed him or her a cue, association, or coheponym. After a cue, he or she had an opportunity to name the word again. And if he or she still couldn't retrieve it, we showed a target word and asked if he or she had this word in mind. The results show that before cue presentation, there were 26% of correct responses. 17% wrong responses, and in 56 cases there were no response, and 14% of third states among cases with no response. After Q presentation, there were 17% correct responses after hyponym Qs, and 18% correct responses after association Qs. Other results you can see here. Analysis of variance showed that there is no difference in efficiency of hyponym and association Qs. That Qs were more effective when the participant experienced a third state, and the presence of third state didn't modulate the relative effect of Q type. The theory of partial activation wasn't confirmed in our study. Semantic cues helped to resolve the third state rather than interfered with word retrieval. And blocking theory wasn't confirmed in our study. Associations were not more effective in resolving third states than cohyponyms. And finally, we have highlighted some limitations which we faced. The first is the frequency of third state was less than we expected, so it costs less statistical power than we expected. And in future research, we would recommend more trials or preliminary norm stimuli. The next is some strategies that we faced in online experiment. For example, some participants opened queues before making any response that caused some wrong samples. And in future researches, we would suggest to use some other semantic types of cues, for example, synonyms, hyponyms, and or collocations. And now we continue to collect data from other participants to get more representative results. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very clear and concise presentation. Do we have any questions? I think we have one. We have a question from, or a comment from Anastasia Lopochina.
Yes, hi. Thank you for a nice talk. I have a question. Maybe you can speculate why this tip of the tongue state happened in 14% of cases. So it's not very, it's quite a rare state, right? Maybe it cannot be assessed in an experiment like that, or maybe people just have the state rarely. So what's your ideas why it's so rare?
As I have said, the first reason is our stimuli, which caused 26% of correct answers, and it is a high result because some stimuli were often be named by almost every participant. So I think that in future results we would we wouldn't include this stimuli in our future research. And I think that the wrong samples, which participants were used some strategies. They didn't name a word that caused such low percent of third state. That's all. I think the main reason is our stimuli. But in previous researches that were English researches, the percent of thought state was about 40.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Very interesting. Any other questions or comments? Obviously, a different topic to study in a lab setting, trying to make people to have tip of the tongue states. What is your prediction for other types of stimuli that you are going to use, synonyms, for instance, and others? Do you think you can get better, higher outcomes for those?
Honestly speaking, I don't know because we have to try to use them. I don't have any prediction because there were no any researches on such types of cues, and so I have no predictions.
Right.
May I add something as a co-author?
Oh yes, please, Svetlana.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
So I personally have very high hopes for collocations as a cue type. So a cue that is frequently used with the target word. So not only semantically related, but also frequently co-occurs with it. But like Elizaveta just said, there are no previous studies using collocations, so it's only a hypothesis to test. And also it is difficult to develop stimuli where we would have collocations for many stimuli words, because not many nouns have very strong collocations. But I personally think that perhaps this co-occurrence together with semantic relatedness would be something that would make collocation cues superior to other semantic cue types.
Right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Interesting. So that's a lot of space for pioneering research then. That's a good side of it. Thank you kindly. And let's continue to the last talk of the session.